Have you ever felt your heart sink when your children dismiss your stories with a laugh, or watched your hard-earned savings dwindle because of yet another emergency loan? Have you ever sat alone, waiting for a call that never comes, wondering if you're asking too much just to be seen? As a senior, you've given everything, your love, your time, your dreams, to raise your children, but now, in this precious season of life, certain behaviors from them can quietly steal your peace, your dignity, and even your future. In this video, we're diving into the 6 things you must never allow from your adult children. Not out of anger, but to protect the beautiful, vibrant life you deserve. Watch until the end to discover how setting these boundaries can transform your relationships, reclaim your joy, and empower you to live unapologetically for yourself. Before we begin, I would appreciate it if you like this video. You can help me continue to spread the old age lesson. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like this video, please comment number 1. If you don't like it, comment number 0 to let me know, so I can make a better video for you. Now let's get started. 1. Disrespect. The silent sting that wounds deeply. Disrespect is not always loud or blatant. It often arrives cloaked in subtlety, delivered with a sting that lingers long after the moment passes. It's the dismissive sigh when you share a heartfelt story from your past, the barely concealed eye roll when you offer advice, or the cutting remark veiled as humor. Picture this: you're at a family gathering, reminiscing about a tradition that shaped your life, and your adult child interjects, "Oh, Mom, nobody does it like that anymore." The room erupts in laughter, but inside, you feel a pang of hurt. Your heart shrinks, and you're left wondering when your wisdom became a punchline. In that moment, you feel like a relic. Your experiences, your knowledge, your very presence dismissed as outdated or irrelevant. This is not acceptable. You've lived through decades of triumphs and trials, joys and sorrows. Each wrinkle on your face, each lesson in your heart, is a testament to the life you've built. Your voice carries the weight of that journey, and it deserves to be heard with respect, not humored or tolerated. Disrespect, even in its quiet forms, erodes your dignity and chips away at your sense of self-worth. You are not obligated to shrink yourself to make others comfortable. To address this, summon your inner strength and speak up, not with anger or defensiveness, but with calm resolve. Choose a quiet moment, away from the heat of the interaction, and express how the behavior affects you. For example, you might say, "When my words are dismissed or turned into a joke, it makes me feel invisible, like my experiences don't matter." Be clear and direct, but maintain a kind tone. This isn't about blame, it's about reclaiming your space. If the dismissive behavior continues despite your efforts, consider stepping back. Your presence in their lives is a gift, not a duty. By setting boundaries, you protect your dignity, which is the bedrock of your self-respect. You are worthy of being valued. Never settle for less. 2. Financial dependence. The slow drain on your future. As a parent, your heart is wired to nurture and support your children, even as they grow into adulthood. When they come to you with financial struggles, a loan for a car payment, a boost to cover rent, or a safety net to pursue their dreams, it feels natural to step in. You want to ease their burdens, to give them the opportunities you may not have had. But when "just this once" becomes a recurring plea, you're no longer just helping, you're sacrificing your stability. Every dollar you withdraw from your savings, every check you write from your retirement fund, is a piece of your hard-earned future chipped away. Your generosity, though born of love, can slowly drain the peace and security you've spent a lifetime building. Your retirement is not a fallback plan for your children. It's your sanctuary, a promise you made to yourself for rest, freedom, and dignity in your later years. The reality is stark. You cannot pour from an empty cup. If you deplete your resources now, you risk becoming a burden to the very people you're trying to help, or worse, facing your financial insecurity with no one to turn to. This is not about withholding love. It's about preserving your future while teaching your children the value of independence. To navigate this, set boundaries with compassion and clarity. Have an honest conversation, perhaps saying, "I love you and I want to support you, but I can't keep providing financial help without jeopardizing my security. Let's sit down and work on a budget together, or I can help you explore other resources." Offer guidance, wisdom, or practical support, like reviewing their expenses or connecting them with a financial advisor, rather than a blank check. This approach empowers them to take responsibility while reinforcing that their future is non-negotiable. It's not selfish to prioritize your financial well-being. It's a courageous act of self-preservation. You've worked too hard to let your security slip away. Honor the promise you made to yourself. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. 3. Emotional manipulation. When love becomes a trap. Love is meant to uplift, but when it's wielded as a tool for control, it can become a quiet poison. Emotional manipulation often masquerades as affection, making it difficult to recognize and even harder to confront. Imagine this. Your son asks you to rearrange your long-planned weekend getaway to babysit, and when you decline, he sighs, "I thought you'd care more about your grandkids." Or your daughter, after you say no to yet another last-minute favor, replies, "I guess I'll just figure it out alone." Suddenly, your boundaries feel like betrayals, and guilt creeps in, whispering that you're a bad parent for choosing yourself. This is emotional manipulation, and it's a thief that steals your peace and autonomy. Guilt is a powerful weapon, especially when it comes from those you love most. It can make you question your decisions, erode your confidence, and trap you in a cycle of people-pleasing. But hear this, you are not selfish for setting boundaries or prioritizing your needs. You are human, with your dreams, desires, and limits. Saying no does not diminish your love. It affirms your right to live with dignity and balance. Emotional manipulation thrives in silence, so the first step is to recognize it for what it is and refuse to let it control you. When faced with guilt-tripping tactics, pause before responding. Give yourself space to process by saying, "I need some time to think about this." This simple act buys you clarity and prevents knee-jerk concessions. When you're ready, set your boundary with calm firmness. "I love you deeply, but I can't let guilt dictate my decisions. I'm here to support you in other ways, but this is what I can and cannot do." Be specific about your limits, and don't apologize for them. Your no is not a rejection of your child, it's a reclamation of your emotional freedom. Standing firm can be uncomfortable, especially when tears or accusations follow, but hold your ground. Your peace is worth protecting, and by modeling healthy boundaries, you teach your children the value of mutual respect. You deserve relationships built on love, not obligation. 4. Unrelenting demands on your time, when your life becomes theirs. Your home is more than a house. It's your sanctuary, a sacred haven where you've carved out space to rest, reflect, and rediscover yourself after years of nurturing others. Your time is a treasure, hard-earned through decades of juggling responsibilities, from raising children to supporting aging parents, from building a career to holding together the delicate threads of family life. Yet, too often, this sanctuary is breached, and your time is claimed without a second thought. The phone buzzes with urgent requests. "Can you watch the grandkids this evening? We're in a pinch." Or, "Could you swing by the pharmacy for me?" Unannounced visitors show up at your doorstep, their knocks interrupting the quiet morning you'd planned to spend journaling, gardening, or simply savoring a cup of coffee in peace. These demands, often delivered with an unspoken assumption that your schedule is perpetually open, accumulate like pebbles in a jar, filling every crevice until there's no room left for you. You love your family deeply. You take pride in being their rock, the one they turn to when life feels overwhelming. You've been there through late-night fevers, tearful breakups, and triumphant graduations, always ready with a warm hug or a listening ear. But when their needs consistently eclipse your own, you risk fading into the background of your own life. The hobbies that once sparked joy, knitting intricate scarves, tending to your rose garden, or losing yourself in a novel, sit abandoned, gathering dust in the corners of your days. Friendships, once vibrant and life-giving, wither as you cancel plans to accommodate yet another emergency. Your joy, that quiet flame that fuels your spirit, flickers under the weight of endless obligations. You might even feel a pang of guilt for craving time to yourself, as if prioritizing your own needs is somehow selfish. But let's be clear, your energy is not an endless river, and your rest is not a luxury, it's a lifeline. Setting boundaries is not about pushing people away. It's about creating space for yourself to thrive so you can continue to give from a place of fullness, not depletion. It's an act of love, for yourself and for those you care about. Start with kind, clear communication that honors both your needs and your relationships. For instance, you might say, I love spending time with the grandkids, but I need a few days' notice to plan visits so I can be fully present for them. Or, I'm happy to help with errands one afternoon a week, but I need to carve out time for my projects too. These statements are compassionate yet firm, setting expectations without apology. If someone pushes back, resist the urge to cave, restate your boundary calmly. I hear that you're in a bind, but I'm not available today. Let's find another solution together. Consistency is key. Over time, your family will learn to respect your limits. To protect your time proactively, consider practical strategies. Create a weekly schedule that includes non-negotiable hours for yourself. Time for a morning walk, a painting class, or simply sitting quietly with your thoughts. Communicate these sacred hours to your family. Mornings are my time to recharge, so I'm not available until afternoon. You might also set up a system for requests, like asking family members to text or call a day in advance rather than dropping by unannounced. If demands persist, practice saying no with grace. I can't help this time, but I'm happy to brainstorm other options. If guilt creeps in, remind yourself that saying no doesn't diminish your love, it preserves your ability to show up as your best self. Consider, too, the power of small rituals to reclaim your time. One woman, exhausted by constant family demands, started waking an hour earlier to write poetry, a passion she'd neglected for years. That quiet hour became her anchor, a reminder that her life was hers to shape. Another retiree joined a local hiking group, carving out weekends to explore trails with new friends, gently declining family requests that conflicted with her plans. These acts of self-prioritization aren't selfish. They're a declaration that your life matters, that your dreams and desires are worth nurturing. You've earned the right to a life that reflects your heart's deepest wishes, not just your duties. By guarding your time, you're not closing the door on love. You're opening it wider to a version of yourself that's vibrant, fulfilled, and free to flourish. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 2 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. 5. Neglect. The pain of being forgotten. There's a quiet, aching wound that festers when you're overlooked by those you've poured your heart and soul into. The phone sits silent, its screen dark, when you hope for a call to check in after a doctor's visit. Your milestones, a birthday, a new volunteer role, or even the quiet victory of planting a spring garden, pass without a word of acknowledgement. You were their unwavering foundation through countless seasons, staying up late to soothe a child's fever, offering wisdom through their heartbreaks, cheering loudly at their graduations, and celebrating their smallest wins with boundless pride. You were the keeper of their stories, the safe harbor in their storms. Now, in your moments of vulnerability or quiet longing, the silence feels like a betrayal, an abandonment that cuts deeper because it's unspoken, unacknowledged. This neglect isn't always malicious. Your loved ones may be swept up in the chaos of their own lives, work deadlines, school schedules, or their struggles. But understanding their reasons doesn't erase the sting of being forgotten, nor does it diminish your right to be seen, valued, and cherished. You shouldn't have to plead for attention or feel like an afterthought in the lives of those you've nurtured so selflessly. Your heart, so generous and resilient, deserves to be met with reciprocal care, not left waiting in the shadows of their busy lives. Speaking your truth requires courage, but it's a powerful step toward healing the ache of neglect. Start with a conversation that's honest yet gentle, inviting a connection rather than confrontation. You might say, I've been feeling a bit alone lately, and a call or visit would mean the world to me. Or, I'd love to share what's been going on in my life. Could we make time to catch up soon? Be specific about what you need, a weekly phone call to share stories, a monthly lunch date to reconnect, or even a quick text to say, thinking of you. These requests aren't demands but bridges, opening pathways to mutual care. Sometimes, people need a gentle reminder to see what's been overlooked. If you've spoken up and the neglect persists, it's time to seek out those who show up for you. Turn to the friend who always listens without judgment, the neighbor who greets you with a warm smile and a story, or the distant cousin who remembers to ask about your day. These connections, however small, can fill the voids left by others' absence. Consider expanding your circle. Join a community choir, a book club, or a local volunteering group where you can forge new bonds with people who value your presence. One retiree, feeling ignored by her grown children, found solace in a weekly knitting circle, where she formed friendships that became her new family. Another discovered a pen pal through an online community, exchanging letters that brought joy and connection across miles. Your worth isn't defined by those who overlook you, but by the love you give and receive in equal measure. You are still here, vibrant and vital, with a wealth of stories, wisdom, and dreams to share. Don't wait for others to see your light. Shine it boldly. Sign up for that art class you've been eyeing, share your talents at a community event, or simply reach out to someone who makes you feel seen. The right people will be drawn to your warmth, and your heart will find the love it deserves. 6. Constant criticism. When your choices are questioned. You've lived a life rich with experiences, triumphs, losses, and lessons that have woven the tapestry of your wisdom. Your years have gifted you a clarity about what matters most, a courage to chase what sets your soul alight. Yet, when you share a new dream, perhaps selling your home to move to a quaint seaside cottage, taking up ballroom dancing, or launching a blog to share your stories, it's met with skepticism or outright judgment. Are you sure that's wise at your age? They ask, their tone dripping with patronizing concern. Or, why would you want to change things now? As if your years disqualify you from bold choices or fresh beginnings. These criticisms, whether subtle or overt, land like tiny arrows, piercing your confidence and making you question your spark, your right to live vibrantly and unapologetically. These critiques often stem from others' fears or limitations, not your reality. Your family might worry about change, projecting their anxieties onto your choices. A daughter might fear that your move to a new town means less time together. A friend might question your new hobby because it challenges their reluctance to try something new. But their doubts are not your truth, and their approval is not a prerequisite for your joy. Your age is not a cage but a crown, a symbol of your resilience and your right to shape your life as you see fit. Whether it's traveling solo to a dream destination, starting a small business, or simply dyeing your hair a bold new color, your choices are yours to make, rooted in the wisdom of a life well lived. Push back against criticism with quiet, unshakable confidence. Try saying, "I've thought this through carefully, and I'm excited about what's ahead." Or, "This decision feels right for me, and I'm eager to see where it leads." Your tone can be warm but firm, signaling that your choices are not up for debate. If the naysayers persist, consider shielding your dreams from their scrutiny. Share your plans selectively, confiding only in those who celebrate your courage. One woman, eager to take up pottery at 68, stopped discussing it with her skeptical siblings and instead joined an art studio where her creations were met with encouragement. Her joy flourished in that supportive space, untainted by judgment. Surround yourself with cheerleaders, friends, mentors, or online communities who see your potential and lift you. Seek inspiration from others who've defied expectations later in life. The 75-year-old who learned to surf, the 80-year-old poet whose words now grace literary journals, or the 70-year-old who started a community garden that feeds her neighbors. These stories remind you that your life is still a canvas, vast and open, waiting for your brushstrokes. If doubt creeps in, journal about your dreams, listing why they matter to you. Revisit those words when criticism threatens to dim your light. You're not too old to love fiercely, to explore uncharted paths, or to reinvent yourself. Your life is a story still being written, and no one has the right to edit your chapters but you. Protect your dreams, nurture your spark, and let your choices reflect the vibrant, unstoppable spirit within you. A promise to yourself. Setting boundaries isn't about shutting others out. It's about building bridges to a life where you are honored, respected, and fully seen. You've spent decades giving to others, pouring your heart into their dreams, their struggles, and their triumphs. You've been the listener, the comforter, the problem solver, often at the expense of your own needs. Now, it's time to turn that same boundless love inward, to give yourself the care, dignity, and freedom you've so generously offered to others. These boundaries are not walls but gateways, leading to a life where you are not diminished but celebrated, not overlooked but cherished. Say no without guilt, knowing that each refusal is an affirmation of your worth, a declaration that your time and clone and energy are precious. Protect your savings as fiercely as you would a loved one, ensuring your security and peace of mind. Guard your time like a sacred treasure, carving out moments for joy, rest, and growth. Demand respect, not as a privilege but as a right, earned through a lifetime of love and sacrifice. Seek out those who see you, not just as a parent, grandparent, or caregiver, but as a vibrant soul with stories, dreams, and a future brimming with possibility. This season of your life is a canvas of opportunity, a chance to paint with bold colors and fearless strokes. Choose dignity over obligation, peace over chaos, and yourself over self-sacrifice. Live boldly, love fiercely, and never apologize for claiming the life you've earned. When you choose yourself, you create space for love to flow back to you, not as a debt to be repaid, but as respect, as care, as the beautiful reciprocal dance it was always meant to be. Your story is far from over, and its next chapters are yours to write with courage, joy, and unapologetic freedom. You are a soul with a legacy of love and a future of limitless possibility. Choose yourself, and let your light shine brighter than ever. As we come to the end of this journey together, take a moment to reflect. What have you learned today about protecting your peace, your dignity, and your future? Maybe it's the courage to say no without guilt, or the realization that your time is just as valuable as anyone else's. Perhaps it's the strength to demand respect or the clarity to seek out those who truly see you. I'd love to hear from you. What's one thing you've learned from this video that you'll carry forward and put into practice in your life? Drop it in the comments below. Your story might just inspire someone else. If you found this video empowering, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more heartfelt messages to uplift and guide you in this beautiful season of life. Until next time, keep shining, you're worth it.